Greetings, this is Al Lipper from friendlybusinesssystem.com, and I teach entrepreneurs how to build a business that manifests your dream life, giving you the tools and pieces to kind of create a business that supports the lifestyle that you ideally want, where so many people end up in these businesses that they're running around in circles on this treadmill trying to do everything that they need just to make enough money, and then they fit in their life, the important things, family, relationships, freedom, wherever they can, and it doesn't really work out well in the long term. So I help you do it the other way around. Focus on freedom, family, and impact, making a difference in the world. All right, so today we're going to talk about why so many businesses are barely profitable and how you can make sure that yours just really knocks it out of the park by focusing on a couple of key techniques that make profits in today's world. And people always talk about technology is changing our world. Technology is changing our world. Well, yeah, but back in prehistoric days, that would be like saying fire is changing our world. Well, yeah, in so many different ways, good and bad. Just like fire could be used to cook a meal or keep you warm when it's cold, it can also burn down structures, houses, shelters, and forests and things like that, right? So it's not really good or bad by itself, it's how we use it. And one of the things that we got to focus on is really, how does this affect you and your family and your community through your work, your business? So let's first look back at kind of the traditional way of doing business, and then I'll share with you some real concrete techniques for making sure that the way you use technology is really effective in getting you more of what you want in your business and especially in your life today. So, the old way of business, it was all about employees and how many employees you had and how much inventory you had and what your gross sales were even. And those things were very important back then, and back then was for many businesses 10, 20 years ago, and even for certain types today, but probably not for yours, or you wouldn't be watching this. So let's shift to what really matters today. Instead of counting number of employees and saying, oh, my company has 15 employees or 500 employees, and thinking, wow, that's wonderful. I don't really care how many employees someone has. What I really care about, is what kind of results are you getting? Are you earning money doing what you're doing? And the same goes for gross profit. A friend of mine was telling me about someone he met who said, we did $72 million in sales last year. And my friend was like, wow, that's amazing. That's incredible. Well, you're way ahead of me in business. I only did $5 million in gross sales. And the guy says to him, well, yeah, but I only got to keep like 200,000 of that as profit. That's all we made in profit. My friend looks at him and says, wow, you are like a razor's edge away from losing it, from being negative there, my friend. And that's the truth. It's not how much you make in gross sales, it's how much you get to keep. To wrap up that story, my friend was like, well, actually, I only made $5 million in gross sales, maybe compared to your $72 million, that's nothing. But I got to keep $4.5 million of that in my pocket. That's how much I walked away with after all my expenses. And so that's the kind of business we're trying to create. That's the kind of business that these techniques that I'm about to share with you really allow you to do in your own business, in your own life. So first, instead of people, we talk about results. What results do you want in your business? And those results could be, hey, I'm trying to sell this new product, or it could be, I want to get people to join me on my webinar, or it could be, I need more leads from the special online download that leads people to a certain product. Whatever it is, you want to be clear on what your outcome is. And instead of using people to do this, as much as possible, we use automation. In my own business that has done extremely well over the past years, and I'll tell you more about that, we shifted from going to conventions and hiring staff and teaching live in-person classes, which can be great, by the way, but for us it was unnecessary. And we shifted a lot of that to automation, automated emails, advertising, fulfillment. Now when we sell a product, it doesn't even enter the same state that our business exists in. It's handled by a fulfillment center in Illinois. So using automation strategically allows you to, in the end, make more money. I find automation is much less expensive than paying staff. Most traditional businesses are paying staff to do things that could be automated. So automation is really big. Another thing, traditional business is how many employees do you have? And what we do here is we focus not on the employees, but again on the results. And if we need a person to do something, which sometimes we do, people are valuable assets in our business, or can be when they work for us and do an effective job. We outsource that. We're really big on independent contractors. I love hiring independent contractors. You find someone who does something well, they do it, and they're done, and you pay them for the time they put in. You're not paying for things that you really don't need, and which in today's world aren't common anymore. People don't expect pensions anymore. They don't expect health insurance the way they used to. Yet when you hire an employee, you may feel obligated to pay some of these things. You're certainly paying taxes on their behalf and so forth. We do, for example, we need ongoing support for the tech side of our web server. We've got, over 100 different domains now that we use, and there's technology that needs maintaining, updating. Stuff goes wrong as things get updated, and so in order to do that, well, we could hire an on-staff system administrator, and that would be expensive and probably unnecessary. So instead, what we do is we hire someone who just works for us when we need it. We need something done, we shoot him a message, he takes care of it, and it's done, and we only pay for his time that he's actually worked on it. Customer service, we've had people who've worked for us for years. This isn't just a one-off thing. I mean, 5+ years we've had both of our primary customer service folks work for us. And they're independent contractors. They also provide services for someone else and have other clients, and that's great because it allows us to use their services when we need them, when we're doing a launch or something like that. They put in extra time. When we're working during a slower season, our online educational curriculum business is somewhat seasonal. It's for kids in kindergarten through 12th grade, and so during the summer, business is slower and different, and so they work less. During our primary sales seasons, they work more. So in your business, you want to use automation and outsourcing really as much as you can. That in itself is a real shift from how we used to do business. And then really just bringing it home to your business should serve your lifestyle. You want to be earning money and enjoying what you do and making a difference in the world. And do that in a way that is profitable, so that you can spend time on the things outside of your business that you also enjoy, your family, your relationships, freedom. Back in 2006, my wife and I decided to transition our business. I owned an engineering company back then, an international engineering company, staff in the U.S., in Hong Kong, in mainland China, and I was CEO of that company as well. And so there was a lot to manage. Made a decision that wasn't the lifestyle I wanted anymore. I wanted more time with my family. I wanted time to be able to travel, to live other places and not be tied down to an office and a staff and all that. And so my wife and I came up with what was really important to us in our lives and in the business. And for the business, there were three primary things. First, I want freedom. I want freedom of time. I want to work when I want and not when I'm required to for the most part. At least the majority of time I want to have control over. Two, I want freedom of location. I want to be able to run my business from anywhere. And three, money. I want to be able to make enough money to pretty much do the things I want without having to worry about money. And where's money going to come from this month or next month or next year? Not worrying about that. So those were the three must-haves. And I realized that while there were a lot of great things about the engineering company, it couldn't provide those three things. It's certainly not in its current structure by any stretch. And so what I ended up doing was selling that company and creating a totally new business from scratch, which was founded on those three fundamental requirements. And it was the basis of the business that I have today, 15 years later, while it's grown tremendously and actually far outperformed what I was getting in terms of income from the engineering company. Even though I own this international engineering company, I now actually make more from this company that gives me far more freedom than I ever did from that. So it's been a growth across the board, and I have much more time to spend with my kids, with my wife, to travel wherever I want, do things really on my schedule. And a lot of what's made this possible is automation and outsourcing. And then the third thing is information products, which we'll talk more about later. So anyway, lot more we could go into here, but I just wanted to share that with you today and leave you with an action item. You know, if you're feeling like you're too overwhelmed to make any of these changes, if you're feeling like you don't even have time because you're doing so much doing, you can't even think about automation or outsourcing. Well, here's one question for you. What is the one thing in your business that is most profitable? What is the one thing that's most profitable in your business? One area, one product line, one service, one type of client. What's that one thing that's most profitable for you? Okay, figure out what that is. And now, what if you just focused on that? Instead of making up, 20% of your sales, what if it made up 50% or 100% of your sales? How much more could you make? How much more time would you have? All right, so let me leave you with that. Think about it and then consider ways of transitioning so you can focus more on that and maybe minimize your energy and effort on those other things. All right, so this is Al Lipper from friendlybusinesssystem.com, and we're about freedom, family, and impact. Go out there, make a difference, make the world a better place. I'll see you soon.